Right, for your history lesson today, I wasn't planning on doing a video for it, and I'm still only going to keep it a short video, okay, but I just remembered that I've got some things that will be able to help you with the session. Now, you're going to be comparing modern day toys to toys in the past, and you're going to be doing a bit of sorting, okay? So modern day toys, what does that mean? That means toys that you play with now. And toys in the past are what boys and girls a long time ago used to play with. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be looking at pictures and doing lots of talking with your grown-ups and talking about how they're the same as your toys and how toys in the past are different to your toys. Okay, now on the website, I have put some pictures of olden day toys that you can have a look at, and I'm going to show you some non-fiction books now. This is what I remembered that I had to help you with it as well. And then what I'll do is I'll take some photographs of the pages in these books and I'll add them on to the end of the video so that you can have a really good look at them. Okay, but we know that we can use non-fiction books to help us find out information. So these books are all about toys, which is a good job because that's our topic at the moment, isn't it? So even just on the front cover of this book, if I share my screen, now the light's shining down, so there's going to be a bit of reflection, but you can see there's 3 different types of toys. There is a Noah's Ark. Wonder how many of you have got your own Noah's Ark. Wonder if it's the same as this one. Wonder if it's made of the same thing. We've got a teddy and we have got an iPad. Okay, now don't forget, non-fiction books have a contents page to tell us what's inside. Okay, so I'm just going to whiz through, and then, like I said, I'll take some photographs of some of the pages. So on this page here, we've got a doll's house that is over 100 years old, and we've got a car that is 70 years old. So I wonder if you've got either of those toys at home, and I wonder if they're the same, if they look exactly the same, if they're made of the same things, or if they're different. Okay, I'm not going to show you everything. And there's that Noah's Ark again. Okay, now here is a soldier and some mini bricks that are made out of rubber. Now, have a think while I'm showing you these. Do these look the same as some of the toys that you might have? And then we've got a Victorian steam engine that, in that picture there, children are playing with it. So do you think this is a modern day toy, or do you think it's an old toy? Okay, we've got another train up here. Now this train is a clockwork train and it's got a motor inside. So I wonder how you get that motor to work. I wonder what you have to do. And then we've got this camel here that's made of wood and it's pulled along by a piece of string. Okay, and there's the child with the iPad. And then we've got the children here who are using something called Meccano. Now, when you were interviewing your grown-ups or your grandparents to find out what toys they had, some of them might have said that they played with Meccano, and Meccano helps you build things. It teaches you how to build things. Okay, we've got a puppet there. We've got some different types of dolls as well. So we've got a rag doll, we've got a plastic doll and a china doll. So do you think, which one of these do you think is the newest? And which one do you think might be the oldest? And why do you think that? Okay, so we've got some different types of cars here. Now, I bet lots of you have got lots of cars at your house. So what do your cars look like? Do they look like this one? Your toy cars, do they look like this? Or do they look like this? Okay, how can we tell which one is the old car? And then we've got teddies as well. Now, these 2 teddies were made at different times. So we've got a newer one here, and this one here is about 90 years old. Okay. So both of those are quite similar, aren't they? So even though one of them is much, much younger than this one, they are very similar, and they're probably made in a similar way. Okay, so talking about teddies, I have got one that I would like to show you. And it's a teddy that my mum had when she was a baby. And I remember when I was looking at these books, and I thought, oh yes, My mum's still got her teddy from when she was a baby. So she let me borrow it, and she's letting me show it to you. So I had to pop round to her house and get it. And I had to make sure I was so careful when I was carrying it back to my house. But this is it. This is her teddy. No, she's not as old as that teddy in the book. She's not 90. Okay, she's not that old. But this teddy is still quite old. Okay, now how can we tell that this teddy is quite an old teddy? What can you see? Yeah, it's only got one eye. Poor teddy, he's only got one eye. And can you see how the fur is all worn away or fallen out? And there's a hole in his paw. There's also a hole in his foot, and the one foot just dangles like that. And that's because my mum used to love playing with this teddy, used to like giving it lots and lots of cuddles and playing games with it. So this teddy was very, very, very loved and played with a lot. So that is why all the fur has started to come away, and that's probably why the eye fell off as well, because it was just played with all the time. But my mum has still got it, and she still keeps it safe. So this teddy is very, very special. So your grown-ups and your grandparents might have their teddies from when they were babies as well. Perhaps that's something that you can ask them. Now, just very quickly, I just want to show you one more non-fiction book, and like I say, I'll take some pictures of this one as well, because in here there are some more old toys for you to have a look at. Okay, so let's have a look. On here we've got a spinning top, and we've got a ball and cup. And now what are those made of, do you think? Then we've got a doll and a rocking horse. I wonder if any of you have got any toys that look like that. Okay, now I'm just reading back to that page actually, and in the Victorian times, so Victorian children were on a Sunday, they were only allowed to play with toys that were based on Bible stories. So stories like Noah's Ark. So in the Victorian times, so when Queen Victoria was the Queen, the children on a Sunday were only allowed to play with toys like that. Okay, so here's another old teddy bear, and you know now why teddy bears are called teddy bears, after Teddy Roosevelt, who was a leader in America. Okay, so there's an old scooter, and then we've got a boy here who's playing conkers. Now that's a game that your grown-ups will be able to tell you about. Okay, and a long time ago as well, people thought that some toys were only for boys and some toys were only for girls. Now we know that you can play with whatever toy you like, okay? It doesn't matter. There aren't boy toys and girl toys. You can play with whatever you like. But boys, a long time ago, would play with things like toy soldiers, or they would play with trains. And the girls would use things like tea sets and play with their dolls. Okay, but like I said, we know now that boys and girls can play with all sorts of toys. Okay, so there's puzzles. Do you play with puzzles? Did your parents or grandparents play with puzzles? And then we've got toy cars again as well. All right, and yo-yos as well. All right, so I'm not going to show you any more from there because I'll take a few photographs, but what we want you to do is we want you to have a really good discussion and compare all of these old toys, and remember there's the photos on the website as well, and compare them to your toys. And then I want you to do some sorting. So also on the website there is a selection of smaller pictures. Okay, now if you want to print them out you can, but you don't need to, because what you could do is you could write a list, or you can draw the pictures and put them into groups, sort them into old toys and modern day toys, and see what you think. What is the same about all of the olden toys, or what is the same about all of the new toys? Okay, so you're going to be doing lots of discussion. So I hope you enjoy it, and really take the time to think about the similarities and differences between the two lots of toys.